family, peace and blessings. And we are back for another episode of Heal with Angelica Waters podcast, where we discuss all things healing. And on today's episode, I have a special guest, author Miss Quanna Lampley. Did I say that right?
You
Last name?
sure did.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
okay. Joining me today as we will be discussing her new book, I Learned How to Fly in the Rain, a story of resilience, inspiration, and healing. Miss Lampley, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, yes, thank you, thank you. So I am glad to hear, and again, thank you again for being on the show. Now, so I can see that you had your first book signing last month on the
Yes, ma'am.
23rd.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, again,
Thank
congratulations.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, how did you feel in those moments knowing that you crushed one of your goals of becoming an author?
Um, it felt amazing. Like not even a book signing up into it. Even now still. Um, once I got it edited and sent it to the publisher and like was waiting on the books to print, I was like, wow, like you mean to tell me I'm a real author? Like
Yes.
it blew me. And when I received the my first package of books, I was like, this is real. Like my name is on a book. And so it
Mm.
was amazing. And so the book signing was amazing. And then after the book signing, we went live on Amazon and I was like, wow, like you can look me up and find my name as a published author. It's an amazing feeling.
Oh wow. Oh my God, sis. Praise be to Allah. I'm so glad that you were able to crush one of your goals of becoming an author and just feeling that feeling of just bliss of just knowing like I did it. Like just
Yes,
to see
yes,
your name and to see
yes,
that now your story can be
yes,
told to everyone in need, you know?
yes,
So
yes.
yes, yes. So tell us more about your book, I Learned How to Fly in the Rain.
So, as you said, it's a story of resilience that focus more on the healing rather than the problem. So many times in life, we focus on the problem of why did I do this? Why am I here? And I didn't want to focus that much. I wanted to say, yes, you're there, but you can get out. You can win
Mm-hmm.
as long as you don't give up. One of my favorite quotes in the book is, um, even though my wings got wet, I still learned how to fly. That no matter what, like you still can be okay as long as you don't give up. Only when we give up is when we lose.
Ooh. Mm. Yes, yes. I definitely agree with you on that. So what was the point in your life where you felt like you were heading towards giving up before you actually did? Like what was that moment in your life where you felt like giving up but you kept persevering?
A lot of days, a lot of
I guess
moments.
it's all of us,
Hence, the
huh?
book was written in those moments. So the inspiration for the book was as I like grew up in life, things would happen and I would be like, really? That happened? And I would think like rather good or bad, like that's funny. Where's the little man that's gonna jump out and say that this is a prank? And every day it kept being my reality. So to keep myself going, I kind of be like, you know what, I'm gonna write a book. And it just kept being words. I've always liked to write and
Hmm.
read. It's very therapeutic for me, but I never put forth the effort until one day I was like, let me try. I had took a couple of book writers courses and I wanted to put forth the effort now, not just let it be words. So I started like writing and talking into my phone, putting it there, and then sending it to my email, doing all of that. And before I knew it, there was a book wrote, written. I'm sorry,
Yeah, you're fine.
but um, once I read it, I didn't know like if I really wanted to put it out there. I have
Hmm.
a dream of the title. I learned how to fly in the rain. I seen it on t-shirts. I actually have t-shirts. I didn't wear mine today because I think I done wore them all.
Okay, so
But
you got t-shirts with your
yes,
the title. Oh my gosh, because I
yes,
love that title. I told my
yes,
mom about it. She's like, yeah, that's a beautiful title. I love it.
yes. Thank you.
Yes.
So I seen it on T-shirts. I seen a blue butterfly, which is why my book is a blue butterfly. Um, I seen all of that, and I wrote this book, and it was more of a memoir, and it just told the story, but it didn't have any helping in the story. It just told the story. It just was like, yeah, this is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened, and my mom died, and I never did anything else with the book. And
Mm,
so in 2021, I before that I had already dealt with things, but I dealt. If you ever dealt with grief, it's a whole new era of life that you be like, "What is this?"
yeah.
And it makes you feel so alone. So I ended up in 2021. I ended up getting a laptop for Christmas, and I picked back up my book, and I looked and I read through it. And for me, I was like, I really wrote this. I don't want these people to know this. I
Yeah.
don't want to focus on, yeah, that's the girl that this happened to, this happened to, this happened to. I want you to know that if it happened to you, you'll be okay.
Yes.
So I began to writing and formatting what I had already wrote to a smaller version and focus more on the healing of it happening. And I
Yeah.
started that December of 2021 and was finished February of 2022. I stepped out of
Wow.
faith and was sent it to the editor to see what they'll say, and she loved it. And from there, we have our finished product.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Like, you were it just had me thinking, like you just said, just the simple fact of, you noticed that you were kind of putting a little bit, I guess you want to say like too much in the book that
Yes,
was kind of too personal to where you
yes,
felt like maybe I should kind of like edit it just a little bit more.
yes, yes,
And it's crazy because sometimes I think like that too, like, not wanting people to know everything, but
yes,
wanting people to know my story. So it's
yes,
kind of like I want, So I'm glad you actually said that because that just gave me more confidence
yes, yes.
in doing something like that as well. Now, was could you say like because you still I'm guessing you still had to put some personal things
Yeah,
in there.
it still is very personable, but it's not focusing on the problem. It's
Yes.
like one of my chapters are called it's called Speak. I know why I wrote it, and if you put all of it together, you can figure out why I
Yeah.
wrote it too. But at the end of the day, give everybody a voice. That's what it is.
Yes. Yes, exactly, exactly. Now, would you say writing this book, was this something that took you out your comfort zone?
Yes, because I'm a person that I like to be seen. I don't even know if it's that I like to. People see me as
Yeah.
um strong. They see me as very strong. I like to make people laugh. Um, I love to encourage, and I'm a whole vibe. And so
Yes, I know, sis.
so I think in the book I've even heard people tell me like, wow, I didn't know you were going through that, because while I was going through it, I went through it with a smile on my face. I never really told people like this is what's happening, but really I was living the darkest period of my life, the darkest season of my life. I was so down and depressed, and you won't know that until you read the book.
Yeah.
But in the book I talk about it, but I also tell you like, yes, this happened, but if you do this, you can get up out of it. And
Ooh.
it may not happen overnight. Just keep going.
Mm. Ooh. Praise be to Allah. I love that. I love that. Now, um, I seen that you said that you're very spiritual. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to know like how can you say God assisted you in those moments of adversity?
So the you gotta read the book, but I'll say this: I learned one very valuable lesson. One of the things I talked about in the book is, like I said, I was in a very dark season of my life, and my mama was gone. You took my mother. So like I don't have much to say to you, sir. Like
Ooh.
so I became very distant. But the good thing about him is even though I became distant, he didn't give up on me.
Yes.
Because if he gave up, then I just wouldn't be sitting here today. I would have lost my mind. And because I have my mind, I have wrote a book and it took my mind to do that. I believe that God kept me even when I didn't want to be kept.
Ooh. Mm. Cause he knew what he had
Yes.
waiting for you. He
Yes.
knew it. He like, listen, I know you want to give up, but I'm not gonna give up on
Yes.
you. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, I love it.
Yes.
So, what what type of person would benefit from reading your book? Like what kind of person?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Um I know that everybody is not spiritual or religious per se, but I do believe that it can help people that still don't believe. For the simple fact that somebody is keeping you going.
Mhm.
Whatever you believe is keeping you going. Something.
Mhm.
And if you've ever dealt with things in life, the vision for the book is I'm struggling right now. I'm having a hard day. And I want them to pick up I Learned How to Find the Rain and flip through the pages. And it's something in there that can encourage them to keep going. If you know how to read and can comprehend, I think the book is for you. I've had kids. I have a 12-year-old. She can understand. My friend has a 9-year-old. Her 9-year-old loved the book. Um, yeah, if you know how to read, and everybody, especially in this day and age, is going through different struggles. So no
Mm.
matter what happens, the book is just to encourage you that it's gonna be okay. Because sometimes we get so focused on the problem that we forget about the solutions and the problems be taking us out. But as
Ooh.
long as we trust and believe that, okay, yes, this happened, but I gotta keep going and don't give up, we gonna win in the end. And that's kind of what the vision and the goal for the book is. So I choose to believe that if you can read and comprehend, this book is for you. When I did my, was it my first one? Yes, my first pop-up shop this weekend, I was talking
Yes.
to a lot of students who were like in medical school and all of that. And I would just, speak my little piece with them, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I need that because I need something to push me through medical school." And that's what it's supposed to be, something to help push you.
Yes, I love it. Everybody needs that extra boost. Like,
Yes, yes,
if that's reading a good book, like your
yes,
book, I Learned How to Fly in the Rain.
yes, yes,
And just things in life because we can get bombarded with life.
yes, yes.
Man, listen, it's
Absolutely,
gonna be a lot. So
absolutely.
yes. So I heard you speak on your mother passing away, and I'm very sorry to hear that. Now, was when she passed away, was that your starting point to your healing journey, or did your healing journey start before?
I'm still healing. So originally the book was not a healing journey. It was, like I say, a memoir. Once she passed away, it once she passed away, I just went through so like 2019 was already a very interesting bad year for me. Um in May of that year, like this time of 2019, it was just crazy. I had like been through a lot, like um lost every a lot no on the no, I wouldn't say lost nothing yet. I just had been through a lot just emotionally, um all of that. I had dealt with depression, but I didn't know exactly that's what it was. And I'm the strong friend, so I didn't want to talk about it. I just wanted it to go away. At
Hmm.
that moment, I knew who to call on and had no problem calling on them. But then my mom died, and right before she died, like the end of May, I manifested like everything that has happened beginning of the year won't happen at the end, and I'm going to have a great end of the year. Well, June 5th, my mama died, and it was kind of like that's not what I asked for. That's not what I manifested. That's not what I prayed for. What's
Yeah.
happening here? And so I now what was already bad has became my worst, and what was already darkest came darker.
Mm.
And at first, I knew who to call on and would. Now I knew who to call on and didn't want to talk to him because I felt like you put me in this predicament. I asked you for something and you did the total opposite. So no, I don't want to talk to you. And I had to get over myself. And that's when I think my healing journey started then. I had to
Mm.
help pull myself out of that dark place. And what was depression before then was a whole different type of depression
Yeah.
after.
Ooh, wow, that's deep. I I think just being in like the state of grief, like you said, is a different. It's way different than anything because you have to actually go through it and just
Mm-hmm.
deal with that person not being there
Mm-hmm.
anymore. So you are definitely strong. I'm proud of you. I'm
Thank
proud
you.
that you are still persevering and you're still going. And I'm glad that you actually learned that, you it sounded like you was upset with God for that for a
Mm-hmm.
moment, but when you realize, the purpose, why things happen, it seemed like you
Mm-hmm.
picked yourself back up and said,
Right.
"Hey, I got to keep going." So sound like you want to, you doing this for your mom.
Yes, absolutely. I'm
Yes.
definitely trying to make her proud, make my child proud, um, and help the world. I want to heal the world. That's always been one of my goals. That I just want to help everybody. And so, when I started writing this version and stuck it with I learned how to fly in the rain, I just know that I want to be who I needed growing up,
Yes.
who I needed as a young adult, who I need now, all of that. Like I
Hmm.
just want to help heal because again, we focus so much on the problems, but we never like show a result of yes, I'm not perfect, but I'm still flying. Like as long as we can keep flying.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Now I know we're speaking on healing, and I do want to get just a little, just personal with you and get your opinion on it. Now, can you say that healing should be a priority in one's life? If so, why?
Yes, I do believe that healing should be a priority because you can't be the best version of yourself
Mm.
when you're sick.
Ooh.
I know that's good. I just came up with that one. I gotta write that down.
It's okay, sis. It's gonna be on the replay. You if you forget.
But it
Yes.
is so important because just think about it. When you sick, you don't feel like seeing people doing nothing. You just can't be the best version of yourself. But
Mhm.
when you heal, mm, like you are just so much happier. You got more money. People, your vibe is better. Everybody want to be
Yes.
around you. Blessings just flow. I mean, they flow when you sick, but you appreciative. You have
Yes.
gratitude when you heal. So healing is very important. It should definitely be a priority. Me personally, I know that for a long time I was sick, but I didn't even want to acknowledge the sickness. So I
Ooh.
had to, because of what everybody else around me, I had to give them this quantity that they were used to. But inside, I was broken, I
Yeah.
was tired, and I was struggling. I called it in my book. I called it, I think it was mental suicide or something
Mm.
like that, some type of suicide. But it was at the moment where I could not say or didn't want to say what it was because I didn't want nobody to. I didn't believe that that's what it was. But the moment I had to take accountability for where I
Mhm.
was,
Very
and
important.
yes, and decide I don't want to be here anymore, and let God or whoever you believe in heal you. I took um the right paths to be healed. And so, nah, I'm not. I'm still learning. I'm still flying. I'm still
Yes.
healing. There, I don't have all the best days every day. But what I do know is, as long as I open up my eyes and I don't give up and breathe oxygen, I'm good.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that. I love that. Like, wow. Oh, that was deep. Yes, so I do have just one more question, and I think this will be just benefit to everyone who's watching. Like, what advice do you have for anyone who is having a hard time learning how to go from adversity to resilience?
My advice would be, first and foremost, keep trying. Secondly, stay focused, because it's when we lose our vision when we get blind. But if we stay focused to where we trying to go and believe that it won't always be like that, we'll get where we trying to go. Cause um the Bible say that all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that his word cannot come back void. So if we just keep trusting, believing, praying, manifesting, putting it in the atmosphere, and again, as long as we breathe oxygen, just keep in our mind, like, this is only my now, but it's not my final destination. I got somewhere I'm going, and I'm gonna make it there. So, so just stay focused and let God lead your way, because it's when we try to lead it, we just keep on pushing ourselves back.
Mm-hmm.
And again, be okay with healing. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be hard. But keep going. Keep
Yes.
learning. Like I say, my favorite quote is, "Even though my wings got wet, I still learned how to fly." Because when you look back, you like, dang, I did all of that. And you be like, I did all of that while I was hurt. I did all of that while I was broke. I did all of that while crying. I did all of that while this, while that. And then you be like, if I could do all of that while I was down, then you can't mess with me when I'm
Ooh, unstoppable.
up.
What? Superwoman.
Unstoppable.
Mm-mm-mm. Superwoman. Yes, you are. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. So I would like to thank you again for joining me today, Miss Lampley, in discussing your amazing book, I Learned How to Fly in the Rain. I would also like to thank my amazing healing tribe for always joining us today. I pray today's episode was informative and valuable to you all. Also, be sure to give us a feedback, share, and subscribe on any of your favorite podcast stations and and on my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, Heal with Angelica Waters podcast. Also, check out my ebooks on health and wellness and many merchandises like Eat to Live and Heaven Equal Woman tees listed in the link in the description. I will also include guest information where you can follow up and reach out and purchase Miss Lampley book, I Learned How to Fly in a Rain, a story of resilience, inspiration, and healing. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, Miss Lampley. Now, before we end the show today, do you have any closing remarks for our guest today?
That even if you feel alone, no matter what's going on, as long as you just keep flying, keep walking, keep running, however you want to get there, just keep going. You're going to be okay.
Ooh, praise be to Elias. Thank you so much for that. And again, thank you for joining me. And thank you for joining us today, Healing Tribe. Till next time, I'm sorry. Peace and blessings.